Good evening. I'm going to call the Board of Health meeting to order at 6:03. And we're going to start off. Stephanie Granger, who is the chair, is currently having some technical difficulties. So until she can get on here, I'm going to start this meeting. So anything for open forum at all?
I don't see anyone in the Q&A. And none in attendees.
Okay. So why don't we go to the approval of minutes for September 11th, 2023? Does anybody have any corrections to the meeting minutes?
I had one comment on page 2, which then the next sentence kind of took that away. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Under the draft zoning bylaw, it said,
Wait, where is it?
let's see, discussion on the draft zoning bylaw amended firearms business. The second sentence was, the biggest concerns of the board were discussed with the goal of sending a letter expressing the board's concern. And then I thought, to whom were we sending that letter? But then the next sentence says that the letter was sent to the Board of Health and the Planning Board and the Select Board. So maybe that's a moot point. That was my only comment.
Oh, I agree.
So would you like him to make that? We're certainly happy to change that if you want in the paragraph.
Yeah.
To include that.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Michelle. I think that would clarify with the goal of sending a letter to the Planning Board and Select Board expressing the Board of Health's concerns, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody see anything else? Stephanie, are you on now? She's still not. All right, anybody else see anything about these meeting minutes? Okay, does anybody want to make a motion to approve these meeting minutes?
I'll make that motion to approve with the changes discussed.
Oh, what happened?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Do we have to say roll call in or just?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Michelle?
Aye.
Megan?
Aye.
Joanne?
Aye.
Sue Hanley, aye. I don't think Stephanie is on. She's
Recording in progress.
Can you hear us, Stephanie?
I can hear.
Yay. Okay, well, you can take over now.
Okay.
I have gotten to the meeting minutes and we have approved them with one change that Michelle had made under the discussion on the draft zoning bylaw amendment firearm businesses.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
So our next agenda item then is the variance request for 1 Muriel Drive. We're a couple minutes ahead. Ray, are the people here for that on already or?
They are not.
Okay. So should we take the 6:30 or the something else out of order? What would be best?
So we can take the 6:30. This is a vote to approve. We have some new positions in addition to some existing positions. Speaking with the new school resource officer at the Neshoba Tech. These are the positions they're putting forward to issue citations according to our local tobacco regulations. So the board, I'm asking the board tonight to please appoint these individuals as health agents to be able to cite for our regular local regulations. In addition, I will say that I have met with the school resource officer and discussed not only the fine program, the regulations, but also offered 3 separate programs that have had great success in schools with helping kids kick vaping. So, we're hoping to run that as a pilot program, but that's still in the works.
Great. Is there anyone who would like to make a motion to
Yeah,
accept?
I'll make a motion to appoint the Neshoba Tech High School administrators as health agents for the sole purpose of issuing citations pertaining to the Westford Board of Health tobacco regulations. Do I have to announce who they are?
Probably safest.
Okay, so that
Yeah.
would be the Dean of Students, James Creed, Dean of Students, Jennifer Naponin, Assistant Dean, Michael Robichaud, Assistant Dean, Stacy Cochia, and School Resource Officer, Robert Musto.
Thank you. Motion made. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, and the only thing that I don't have is a visual, so I have one person, I don't know why on my screen, but so all in favor, Stephanie Granger, aye. Michelle,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
Megan,
Aye.
and is Joanne here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Joanne?
Aye.
Great, so that motion passes unanimously. Sorry, I've never done, I think, Zoom on this, and I'm in a weird format.
You look great though, Stephanie. You really do.
Thanks. Don't know why my computer has no sound for some strange reason. Okay, so that motion is made and passes unanimously. And we're still a couple of minutes early, so should we get the update on the health department submission for town report?
Sure. So, in your packet, which I can certainly bring up, was our town report this year, which is brought to you every year. We put together our town report, accomplishments, lots of analytics and data on, let me just pull this up first here before I get into it.
That was the 11-page document, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a big document, and let me just bring that up here. Just so you can see that. And of course, it doesn't want to come up here. on my second
It was
screen.
briefly, but
Let's try that.
I can
You
see
see
that.
it?
Thank you.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's the end of it, looks like, so.
Okay. Yep, that one's not working. So that was in your packet. That's 11-page document. And again, we did add sections for the regional community health and wellness coordinator. We beefed up the MRC section. We put in a big section on the public health nurse and the reasons we'd like to keep the position full time and what the nurse provides here to the community. A lot of new programming was added, and we also added all of our grants that the health department takes in. There's a section on the Board of Health, which is pretty general year to year. So I just wanted to bring that attention and make sure you could see the report that has been submitted. And the person that puts the whole report for all the departments for the town does go through and handles all the grammar and making sure all the fonts and everything lines up pretty. So I know there's a section or two where the grants are that there's a little space gap. So
Very impressive.
Yeah, nice work.
Yeah.
So yeah, just want to bring that to your attention so that you can see what that looks like for the report this year.
Yeah, thank you, Ray, for getting that put together.
No problem.
And we're still a couple minutes ahead. So I don't know how long the budget update would take. You've got 10 on that, but
Sure, so I just want to bring that to your attention. It's that time of year again for the health department budget. I'm sure that you've probably heard there is a deficit this year between $8 and $10 million. They're looking for FY25. So, and that's due to several reasons. It's also in your packet that has been disclosed to the public. And certainly what was formed was a budget task force that came out with also a lengthy report, little over 100 pages that was sent to you, the electronic packet. So I wanted to bring that to you. They went over the efficiencies, budget challenges. Our department was asked several questions from the budget task force through via email as well as through Zoom, where we could consolidate any suggestions for cuts. They had lots of questions. They looked at analysis on health services per resident here in the community. They did a comparison analysis of what the health department spends on resident per year here compared to other communities. And then we were asked to look into those other communities and how do we compare and contrast. So those are some things you'll see, as I pointed out, under the health department section. They had lots of questions about our shared services grant. How can we incorporate that to cover more regional positions, things of that nature. So this week, we put in a budget that is level funded with utilizing the public health nurse full-time, covered under clinical immunization account, which is great news. That does have to go in front of the financial director and town manager. We're behind that decision, and we're very supportive of that suggestion. So we're excited about it. It does have to go in front of the finance committee as well as budget task force, and then certainly town meeting in March. So right now the public health nurse is full-time till July 1st of next year. So we're hopeful, and we'll keep pushing for that. The only thing in the budget, we didn't need to leave it level funded. I did take off, I believe it was $200 or $300 under our dues and membership per year for our staff, because that can be covered under some of our grant money. So that is not a loss for us. So just wanted to, keep you in the loop of what's happening. We're not sure if, more changes to come. It'll be a process all through the holidays into January. We do have to submit our narrative, and that's not complete yet. That's due for December. So since that's complete, I'll make sure you get that.
Thanks, Ray. Ray and I met and talked about some of the things, suggestions, possibilities that were brought up in that, and the comparisons across town. And, I think most of us are familiar with the fact that it's not an apples to apples comparison to look at the towns that, whether septic is covered or they have septic, whether they include their nursing in their budget. So they can slice it that way, but that's not really a representative comparison. So we discussed that, and hopefully that doesn't have to be discussed again more clearly with them, but we'll see on that. Thanks, Ray.
Can I make a comment?
Yes, Joanne.
Looking at it really quickly, kudos to Ray, because so much of the, the work and the activities that happens through the health department is grant funded.
Yeah.
I mean, the number of grants that Ray has gotten and, and the staff has gotten over the years that she's maintained is amazing. I mean, I couldn't do it. I don't do it.
Yeah.
For a job elsewhere, and I couldn't even imagine. So, I'm sure you all appreciate it, because we do as the board. I know this is being recorded, so I want it on record, like how much is done through grant work. So we don't really ask the town, for much funding, and maybe that's where the confusion is. There's so much work that happens, but it's not funded through the general budget. So, I mean, hopefully that gets more widely known. So thank you, Ray.
Thank you,
You're
Joanne.
welcome.
Ray.
Thank
Yes,
you.
and Ray.
Thank you to all the staff. Thank you so much.
Okay, so I guess hopefully now we can return to our 6:15 agenda item, which is the variance for 1 Muriel Drive. Are the people for that here now?
It looks like they're an attendee right now. Yep.
Yeah, so I'll let James give him permission to speak, but Sam, why don't you just go over the overview of what the request is? We'll let James pop into, and I'll bring up the plan, okay?
Sure. So this is a the beginning of a development for 1 Muriel Drive and going through the lot testing and the septic system application. It looks like no matter which way this is cut, the well is going to require a setback variance from the local regulations. So this is going from the typical setback for property lines is 50 feet, and they're requesting a variance to 17 feet from the street side of, so facing Muriel Drive. Typically, this looks to be compliant with the state guidelines for property line setbacks of 10 feet. They also have a recommended setback of 25 feet from streets. This would be pretty close while still staying outside of the multiple septic radiuses in the area and not affecting anyone else's wells or impacting septic systems. So
so are you feeling comfortable then, Sam and Ray, with the design as?
So I will say, certainly we want James to have an opportunity to speak, but, one of the concerns, speaking with Sam and Abby, today was her first day, is that, this is step one of a long road for this lot. The septic plan has not been approved, as I'm sure Sam alluded to. And so we want to make sure that they can meet, where it's new construction, so that they're able to meet all the requirements for both their primary and secondary system. But we certainly understand that the lot is tight and there's not much room for a new well to meet the full 100 feet.
Yep, that's a good summary. But yeah, basically all the septic radiuses in the area kind of corner off most of the lot to that section. And just based on the other locations of septic systems in the area, it would either be in the front or the back of the lot, and it makes a lot more sense for the well to be in the back, at least in my opinion. So it is the first step, though. It's not. It's the system hasn't been approved, but this would be part of that process, or the beginning, really.
Oh, thanks. Sorry, I, again, am only seeing certain things on my screen. Do we have somebody here that wanted to talk to us about the plan, or?
I saw that Jim was going to be presenting. He is in the attendees. I'm not sure if he can get unmuted to, or maybe his hand raised. So
Yep, I keep sending him, asking him to unmute. Jim, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Yep.
Yes, hi,
Yep.
James. Thank you. Would you like to? Yeah,
Yeah, I'd
present
like
us?
to talk a little bit about this project if I could. As everybody knows, it's on Muriel Drive over by Lake Nab, and it's a small existing lot. It's 15,000 square feet. So basically it's 100 feet wide and about 150 feet deep, thereabouts. And with that in mind, to keep a 50-foot offset when the entire lot is only 100 feet wide makes it pretty difficult. And then, like Sam was saying, and also Ray was saying, that when we take into account of all the other offsets that are out there to abutting properties, that I believe, as a designer with over 25 years of experience, that this well is in the optimal location for this lot. And it is a good sand and gravel lot. So from a septic standpoint, where the leach field will be situated anywhere on the lot, the lot itself is very permeable.
So can you show me, is it possible for anybody to point out where that well?
Yeah, it's right there. Yep.
Okay.
Right there. It's proposed
you.
there, yes.
And I can't see any other board members, so I don't know if anybody had any questions, but if you do, please go ahead.
I don't have any questions.
Okay.
I have questions.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I always have questions. So you answered somebody answered one of them. I think you did, James, it was a pre-existing lot, because I know that area, and I wasn't sure if that, because to the north side, I guess it would be. The house is kind of far away, and I didn't know if they cut this piece off, and if the land next to it between this and the house could be another buildable lot. I didn't understand how this tiny lot was.
Well, the tiny lot's been around since the 50s. If you look back on the deed, which I have done. So you have two large companies that were in this area back in the 50s. One is the railroad, and also the power company. So when they came through, there's a power line easement to the north on Muriel Drive, comes through Joe Flaherty's old subdivision known as Lakeside. So they're the ones that kind of divided this land up in the 50s, I think 58 about, or a little sooner. So this lot's been sitting on the books since then. I did talk to the building commissioner already, and that's why we see it as 0 Muriel Drive proposed. So he's been through it, you know, in easy terms, I guess. It's called a pre-existing non-conforming lot because we don't have the frontage. Or the square feet compared to today's zoning. So that's what I know about the lot, that it was pre-existing, non-conforming, and it's a sand and gravel lot. I know the soil testing's been done and witnessed by the Westford Health Department.
Okay, yeah, I just didn't understand the lot itself.
Okay?
So, but I think that Sam might have mentioned, so the septic is in the back, and it's a conforming septic, which is good, 100 feet off the other well, 100 feet off of this well.
Right.
But did you look about putting the septic on the side and moving the well to the back, as Sam had said?
I didn't look at that. The reason why I went to the back, that's a great question, is that way I can get it there by gravity. If I was to move it up to the side, then I would have to pump it. And that's not, for me as a designer, that's not an ideal way. If I can keep the system gravity, that's what drives my designs.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Are there any other
Yeah, I was
questions?
just thinking about the north side of that, you know, that the 13 feet to the lot line, to make sure that nothing else was going to be as close to that well, because the well is far from the septic, so that's good.
And also what's important, it's up gradient too. I always like this, if I'm siting a well, I always try to do it up gradient of the septic system.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, with no further questions, and Ray and Sam, you thought you're okay with it? Just a few concerns about.
Yeah, speaking with Sam and Abby, we are all in agreement that this is probably the best option for this lot.
Okay.
And again, we still have to review the septic plans when those come in. So we just want to make sure they're able to get water for this lot. Okay.
Was there anybody else with their hand up? Sorry, with the plan up, I only, again, I'm back to seeing one face, so I can't see anyone else.
Yeah, I don't see anyone's hand up.
Okay. Then with that, is there any?
So going back to the septic system, I know you haven't done the approval, looked at it for an approval, but are you thinking that there's going to be an issue with it? Just quickly, without doing it, just doing a quick overview?
So we had one round of review. This plan that's proposed right now is a revision to the original that was sent in to us. The location of the system hasn't changed, however. There's a few concerns with meeting everything in Title V, but the design and location of the actual system is not the problem. And I don't think the proposed location of the well is going to change the fact that that system's going to stay in place probably if it's able to move forward with the review.
Okay.
Thank you, Sam and Joanne. Okay, if there's no further questions, I don't know, does anybody want to make a motion to accept the variance, or?
I can do that.
Okay,
So I will make a motion to approve the variance request for 1 Muriel Drive. I'm trying to read it here. With
from the
17-foot frontage and 14 feet from the side right property lines.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor, Stephanie, I, Michelle,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
Joanne,
Okay.
Megan?
Aye.
Okay, so the motion passes unanimously. Thank you for coming and joining us and
Thank
for
you,
the work you're
Sam
doing.
and Ray, for all your hard work, and I look forward to the review of the septic. Have a
All
good
right.
night.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
So Ray, I saw something in our packet, but I didn't see. Oh, maybe that's 1 Muriel also. Okay.
Yeah, so and as part of your packet, not only do we put the plan, but we put their actual variance letter, and then they're required to let abutters know.
Okay,
So we make sure you have that.
sorry. to look at things on one screen since I have everything little.
No problem.
Okay.
You know what? Can I, sorry.
Yes, Joanne.
I should have asked this during that, but I just remembered because I don't have it all up in front of me either. Was the letter, it's definitely going to be a 2-bedroom deeded, right?
That's what it says.
That's, so we don't have, that didn't have to be in the motion, right? That's where it's going to be.
Yeah, I think that's going to be incorporated into the septic review. Yeah, this is just solely the well.
Okay, we'll do that with the septic then. I just got a little nervous there for a second. Okay.
Okay. All right. I guess then our next agenda item is the review of the Board of Health schedule of fees. Ray, do you want to talk to us about this?
All right, get ready. No, so just a couple things, you'll have to let me know what you want me to bring up, or see, but so in your packet, you were sent our actual schedule of fees. The last time the fees were updated here at the health department was 2018. And as you can see, we have quite a bit of fees for all our different permits. Also in your packet is we do a market basket. Every time we do our fees, this is the list of communities. This is like 27 communities that we do a market basket for. So we call all around, just to let everyone know, we call all around and we look up their fees, and we compare them to Westford. The next piece of information you have in your packet is a cost analysis. This is a program that is actually put out by the Department of Public Health. And so it helps local health departments figure out their cost analysis for each of their inspections. So that is also in your packet. So once we did the market basket, we did the cost analysis, all the staff had a chance to look at everything. And then I put in what we are proposing for fees. And let me just bring that up.
I thought I had that up, but.
Do you see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, because I've got multiple screens here. So you can see these are the fees under Westford. To Excel, number C is what our fees are here in Westford. And it's not apples to apples or apples to oranges with every community. Some communities charge way more, for instance, for septic, because they consult out. So they have to pay consultant fees to have someone do their soil testing and whatnot. So you'll notice, like for other communities, they're much higher. Some combined their review in with their permit, and Westford is separated out. So I just want to mention that because those are some big differences in fees. And then in section D, we have the average between Westford and all the communities and what we're suggesting to update the fee to. Some of these you'll notice say no increase, and that's because after all the analysis were done, we actually are pretty good and we're covering all of our costs. So we're recommending not increasing to affect the businesses or the public in these cases. We're more than meeting our cost analysis. And I did check with the town to see if they have any particular software. I checked with the town manager's office and our financial director to see, you know, some communities do a flat rate, you know, every year your fees are going to go up 2 point whatever percent. Here in Westford, we don't have that. It's up to each individual department to look at their fees and decide if they want to increase them or not based on cost.
Did anybody have any questions about any of the suggested increases?
So who makes the final decision about the increases?
You do.
We do.
Okay,
I remember actually doing this, I think, last time.
I
Yeah.
mean, I certainly think, given a 5-year gap since the last analysis, it's certainly warranted that fees would go up.
Yeah. And I mean, we added, it looks like a hazmat plan review. We haven't had that.
Correct. So there are a couple of fees that are new, and hazmat plan review is one of them.
Which is a good thing to have.
We also added body art plan review. Excuse me, that was already here. I apologize. Tobacco sales plan review.
We haven't had that before.
Correct.
Is
I'm
anybody?
gonna suggest, I'm gonna suggest after all this work, I'm just gonna trust that Ray and her staff know what they're doing and
Yeah.
go whatever they suggest and make a motion to approve.
I agree.
I do
Okay.
too. Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and second that motion. Everything looks good. So that motion is made and seconded. All in favor, Stephanie, I, Michelle,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
Joanne,
Aye.
Megan.
Aye.
Great. So Ray, that passes unanimously.
Great. Thank you. One last thing, if we could.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam, putting that in the notes, because I knew I would forget. So implementation date is something we talked about in the office.
Okay.
So we're recommending January 1st.
Yeah.
If that's possible, we have to give IT time to update all the applications, and certainly we're in renewal time, so we don't want to aggravate the businesses this time of year.
Okay. Do we need to then make a motion for that?
I'll amend my motion
Okay.
to include an implementation date of January 1st, 2024.
And I will second that amendment. All in favor, Stephanie, I, Michelle,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
Joanne,
Aye.
Megan.
Aye.
Okay, so we will have that new fee structure amended with the amendment that it goes into effect on January 1st.
Great, thank you very much.
No, that's great. Good work looking at all of that and catching a few of the places where we needed to create some fees to cover our, it's, you know, we're not just trying to charge people for things.
Right,
This is
absolutely.
in line with what other communities are doing to all cover our expenses that we have. Okay, then I guess with that, we're ready for new business.
Great, okay. So the first thing is our performance standards. And I just wanted to let you know that the Massachusetts Department of Public Health and the Office of Local Regional Health made an announcement that was in the press about performance standards for local public health. And so they have put together these performance standards to ensure that public health employees not only have the knowledge, but the training of what's required to carry out their duties in a health department, to assist health departments in offering consistent high-level services to all the residents of the Commonwealth, and then to establish and measure assessing each health department to make sure they're meeting those standards. So that certainly rolls into our shared services grant, which you're already well aware of. But I did pass this out on to the town manager when we received that, and also met with her late last week, to discuss that and how that affects our department. We went over the grant, and certainly, looking to expand our regional services as far as we've discussed social worker, that's been mentioned before you, and also a regional inspector, and that would be shared with all 4 communities. We are waiting for our contract amendment. We haven't received that. We're supposed to receive that in July. We're still waiting. So we're unable to hire those positions until we receive that contract amendment.
And I saw Gail quoted in the statement on the DPH page on that.
Oh,
We did.
Awesome.
We're very proud of her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exciting for the state to be putting together performance standards. And our department has done a great job in the past, but it's also really helpful to have standards against which we need to measure, and will help, we hope, going forward.
Yeah.
Great.
And our flu clinic update then?
Flu is 841 this year, with 2 large-scale community flu clinics, both for residents and employees. So those were just finished up. I really want to thank our public health nurse, who works so hard to put these together, to not only to do the flu clinic, so that's always the easy part. The hard part is learning all the new software updates and getting all the MRC volunteers up and ready to go. And we could not do these clinics without our MRC. We're super grateful to them, to Nancy Burns, our MRC coordinator, and again to Gail Johnson, our public health nurse, for all their hard work. We are working with Gail right now to look at COVID vaccine for here for Westford residents. We want to make sure flu is out of the way. And we do have requests from residents for both RSV, which would be new for us, and shingles.
Great, thank you.
We did receive 10 boxes of COVID kits, so we're down to 1 actually since last week. So we have advertised to the community we have those kits and to be ready for the holidays and whatnot. So those are going quickly.
What is buried in treasures?
So buried in treasures.
Oh, I skipped the stop the bleed. Sorry.
Nope, that's okay. So Gail Johnson, our public health nurse, I just want to let everyone know that's on December 19th from 6 to 9 until help arrives. And that's a great training to help you just be prepared of how to stop a bleed. God forbid you come across a car accident or something in your lifetime. It's a great, save a person's life training. So that's been really popular here with residents and employees. And so we just wanted to.
Is that one full already?
It's not full yet. There are a few spots left.
And where do people sign up for that?
So they can just reach out to the health department for both Stop the Bleed and Until Health arrives.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Yep.
Now buried in treasure.
All right, Buried in Treasure is a new workshop that we're offering here at the health department. We've talked with the Chelmsford Health Department, and it's also had great success putting this workshop on. I'm really excited because our community worker, our regional community worker, Brittany Nass, as well as our public health nurse and Nicole Laviette are all working together, all 3, to put this 15-week workshop on how to help people learn to declutter. All of us have a little hoarding in us. And so it's a great program if you're looking to learn how to declutter, and some great techniques and skills. So.
And how do people sign up for that, Ray?
So they can also do that. That starts January 11th. And that's open to all residents and any employees through the health department.
And so they could just call the health department if they're interested?
Yes. Yep.
That's great. And then you have Mind in Every Body practice.
So this is very popular here in the community, both for teenagers, adults, kids of all ages. And so this is mind and everyday body practice, which is guided meditation, relaxation. We do this in the elementary schools, and it's really very popular. But this again is open to all ages, and this flyer in your packet speaks to that. They can also call the health department.
Very impressive, all the programming you guys are offering now. Yeah, really.
These
good.
are all sound like excellent programs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't thank, like I said, the community health workers are really behind this, as well as the public health nurse. So
It's awesome.
And then there's an employee wellness yoga and Pilates class.
yep. So as part of my job is to work on employee wellness here in the community, and so we've offered yoga and Pilates to our employees here, and that is an 8-week course, Monday and Tuesday nights, and they're full. So we have a little over 60 people between both classes.
That's terrific.
So I just wanted to keep you updated on employee wellness.
And then adult mental health first aid class.
So both community health and workers are also offering adult mental health first aid training. I know the police department is very interested in getting their police force educated on this training. This class does usually fill, whether it's a coach, a teacher, employees. They're very popular classes, and that's to learn how to identify, understand, and respond to signs to mental health and substance abuse challenges among adults, and also we have children mental health first aid as well. People are interested.
Who's teaching that class?
Nicole Laviette is Brittany Nash, and Maria Ruggiero from the Tewksbury Police Department.
And is that one also currently still open to people to enroll in?
There are some spots left, and they can reach out to the health department. That's November 9th and 16th.
Okay.
And you receive certification. Mhm.
Well,
Oh, that's great.
November 9th's already gone, but
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Thank you. The 16th.
And then the NAMI.
Yep, so that too is also a program in your flyers, and that event is part of our shared services community grant for Northwest Public Health Coalition, and that's Ending the Silence for Families, presented by the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and that's November 14th from 7 to 8:15.
So what is that about in terms of ending?
So this program is designed for parents and guardians, family members of K through 12, and the presentation includes 2 leaders, one that shares informative presentation on young adult mental health conditions and shares their journeys and recovery.
That's excellent. Okay, great. And then New Massachusetts septic tax credit for failed systems.
So this is exciting. We're trying to get this word out because Governor Haley, October 1st, just approved this new tax credit. So we spend $6,000 over 4 years, $1,500 a year for a failed septic system. And now it's up to $18,000. And so that's a big jump because I can't tell you the last time they looked at this tax credit. So it's exciting. We're trying to let people know because that's a huge help for folks that are trying to sell or have a failed system. So anyway, we get the word out, we appreciate it.
Yeah, how do you get that word out?
So we do have a form that's in your packet, and we do give that to folks at the counter. We, when a fail, I hate to say, but when a fail
Yeah.
violation notice goes out, we attach it to really encourage that. And also we've been putting it out on social media.
Great. Okay, and then so for old business.
Old business is the Westford Residents Septic and Well Seminar. We do this every fall in spring, and due to COVID, we haven't been able to offer it. So this is really popular with residents and realtors. We give them a packet that they walk away with, and we go over every PFAS, well questions, septic questions. I'm selling my home, lots of folks have lots of questions. So that was, pretty full. Sam helped me do that this year. He did a great job. Abby was out, and he knows that like the back of his hand. So he was great with the president.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, thank you.
Um,
And thank you for
Anytime.
joining us tonight. I
Yeah.
wasn't here at the beginning to say thank you.
Glad to
Yeah,
be here. Thank you.
I just wanted to add that I'm so grateful to Sam. He really has learned so much. I will say it is just the nature of the beast that as soon as someone goes out and you're covering, every odd case and weird thing comes down the pike. And Sam really was put through the ringer. And so he did a fabulous job, always professional, very knowledgeable. So grateful to him. And of course, we're so excited to have Abby back her first day. We figured we wouldn't, make her work a 15-hour day on her first day back from maternity leave. So
Well, that has to be a relief for Abby too, knowing that things were so well taken care of in her absence, right? Yeah.
How are she and the baby doing?
great, very good. Yep, we set up our desk today with pictures and gift cards and flowers and welcome back to make her feel, I know it's hard.
It's hard. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Well, that's great. And thank you, Sam, for everything you've been doing.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else?
I think we're good. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Giving everybody.
I can't believe it's next week. Oh my God. Yeah. Crazy.
Does anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Michelle makes the motion. Is there a second?
I'll
Yeah,
second.
like, let's go. I was waiting for somebody else to jump in.
We're too polite.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor. Stephanie, I. Michelle,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
Joanne,
Bye.
Megan.
Aye.
Great. Thank you,
All
everyone.
right. Good night,
Happy
everybody.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Thanks,
Happy
Ray. Thanks,
Thanksgiving.
Sam.